Ladies and gentlemen, Saunch here. Welcome back to the Bodybuilding News Network, specifically another installment of our daily Hot Topic video series of all things hot topic in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Bodybuilding Today. If you're new, definitely consider subscribing. But let's go ahead and start off with our first story, courtesy of TFE_media, a phenomenal bodybuilding outlet on Instagram. Definitely give them a follow. Sharing a physique update around 10 days out. So it is a little bit old, about 5 days old, of classic physique, Mr. Olympia, Breon Ansley, coming into this year's 2022 Olympia as it returns to Las Vegas. TFE stating, hey, ladies and gentlemen, do not sleep on him. Now, I like what I'm seeing from him in terms of conditioning, but a lot of you mentioned in the last video, if you focus on the legs here, it seems that his legs are starting to downsize. Now, Breon is in his late 40s. I believe it was 47 last time I checked. Of course, correct me if I'm wrong. As always, the People's Network rely on the people to keep the facts straight, and that's what's really cool about this community. I like Breon, honestly, guys. I thought he could have done better at the Arnold Classic Ohio just recently in, March this year. He did start slipping in placings. He's also announced that he's going to be doing 212 next year, but I'm sure if he places top 3 this year, maybe he'll stay. I'm not sure. I would definitely like to see what kind of size he can put on, hopping back into the 212. It's been a long time since he's been in the 212. He's been around for a while. I would be interested to see how he stands up against some of these top 212 guys, or if he can even win a show. So definitely let me know your thoughts on Breon Ansley coming into the Olympia. And of course, thanks to TFE Media for this phenomenal post. Moving on to another awesome bodybuilding outlet, Muscle Insider, based out of Canada last time I checked. Really cool guys. Scott does a phenomenal job covering especially the Canadian shows, but just bodybuilding in general. So just trying to give a lot of people plugs today moving into the Olympia. He shared, or Muscle Insider shared, their Olympia Dark Horse picks, and I thought this was a really interesting conversation. And of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. But they have 4 guys that they think if they hit their absolute all-time best peak, they could place potentially in the top 7 and really stir things up in the men's open bodybuilding division. Of course, we are talking about none other than Michael Krizo coming into his Olympia debut, Open Olympia debut. Derek Lunsford, Olympia Open debut. Blessing Awodibu, same thing. And Samson Dauda, same thing. Now, all 4 of these guys have very different strengths. You have people like Michael Krizo, Blessing, and to most extents, Samson Dauda, very nice, aesthetic, proportional bodybuilders. They have nice height, great structure. They're really capping out on muscle. Maybe not Blessing. He's still young, has a lot to improve on, especially in the legs. Has been the critique for him to build more legs. He does have a phenomenal back lat spread, so I'm not going to knock him too much on that one. And then Derek Lunsford is going to be really a freak factor dark horse pick, genuinely a dark horse pick, coming off of a well-earned 212 Olympia championship title in 2021, getting the special invite for this year's men's open bodybuilding competition. And without that weight cap, the question is, I know we talked about it last video, so we'll make it short here, is, how much conditioning is he going to be able to bring to the stage without that weight cap to force him to, keep things tight. So now we know that Hani Rambod, his coach, does not miss with conditioning. So you should expect to see him in really good conditioning. But the question still is, whether or not he's going to show up. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find out when this video is posted. It'll be 4 days out from the Olympia. It'll be 2 days out when I arrive. I will be in Las Vegas to cover the Olympia starting the 14th. I fly in about 8 o'clock in the morning, and then we're rolling right into coverage. The Amateur O is happening Tuesday and Wednesday, so I'll be hitting the last day of the Olympia Amateurs. So I'm very excited for that. If you guys are going to Las Vegas for the Olympia, message me. I'd love to meet you guys, take some pictures, and just, get you guys in on the vlogs. I'll be recording most of the Olympia weekend. So again, thanks to Muscle Insider for this amazing post, and best of luck to these 4 gentlemen coming into a Olympia Dark Horse upset, potential top 7. Now, next up, Mr. Robert Hospitales. He's been reposting some of my posts that the ones that I put a little bit more effort into with the graphic design. He's been courteous enough to share it with his large audience, so kudos to him, and much appreciated. I know we already talked about Blessing, but a little bit more in depth here for this segment of the episode here. He shared some physique updates here. Blessings did. It looks like it's potentially from the same posing session that he's been using this whole time. Just, reusing the content, and nothing wrong with that. I still think he's going to be showing a little bit of a surprise for everyone. I think he's doing a Chris Bumstead, and he's posting some a little bit older stuff. He's been kind of playing that game. That's kind of my thoughts on most of these physique updates, as he's really not that sharp. The glutes could be a lot harder. The hamstrings, the quads from the side. I'd like to see it a lot harder. Overall, just needs more conditioning, especially on this nice Arnold shot he's got going on here. I'm interested in the whole peacocking thing he's doing with the frosted tips. I don't know if that's gonna bode well with the judges. We have a little bit more old school judges. I don't know if they're going to want that little extra flair for these open guys to come in. So I don't know if that's going to help him or not, but thank you to Robert for reposting a phenomenal physique update of Blessing Awodibu coming into this year's 2022 Men's Open Bodybuilding Olympia. And last but certainly not least, Daniel over at Bodybuilders Without Borders, posting a slew of photos personally sent to him by none other than coach Chris Cormier, bodybuilding legend Chris Cormier, who is the coach of Mr. Ping Yong Long. He won the inaugural Thailand Pro in the 212. I believe it was the first ever 212 Olympia qualifier in Thailand this year. He won that show, and I honestly think he's another one of these guys that's just not getting a lot of talking. I've been trying to get him into this another episode of Bodybuilding Today for almost 4 days now, but there's so many exciting stories. I mean, Nick Walker's dropping videos and posts every day, and every time I put him in the thumbnail, it's like 2,000, 3,000 views. So, it's kind of hard for me to share the love, but also want to make sure I'm satisfying the fan base. It looks like that's what you guys want to see. So I'm giving it to you, But this guy is just phenomenal. Really, really nice shape, nice structure. I'm seeing a lot of comments in his comment section here on this post. Top 5, a lot of top 5 conversations. Now, I believe Mark over at Mark's Max Muscle, the Canadian phenom, YouTube sensation, has him like outside the top 20. I believe it was in his 212 prediction video. So could definitely make some absolute shocks in the bodybuilding world, especially when we talk about the 212. Obviously, I wish him the best of luck. I'm always a favor. I always give favor to those more classic, more streamlined physiques. And I think that's where Chris and Mr. Ping here are doing a phenomenal job prepping for this Olympia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please let me know your thoughts in the comment sections below of everyone we talked about today in this episode of Bodybuilding Today. Please subscribe if you are new here, and let me know what athletes you want to see on another episode here on the Bodybuilding News Network. As always, I'm Saunch, your host. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video.